Week 13, the second to last week of the regular season. Here are my confidence picks for this week in college football. Looking back to Week 12, again, the ACC, Big Ten, and SEC, we're doing really, really well. Everything's above 200 points, and we're near 60, if not above 60 wins for the season. But the Big 12, an absolute crapshoot, an absolute toss-up every single week. -5 last week, 2-4. I'm only 39 and 33 overall for the year, plus 80 in the confidence picks points. We'll see. Hopefully, we do better this week in Week 13. I mean, we have 8 games to go here, so let's just take a shot in the dark, guys. My most confident pick of the week, yet again, is Kansas State over Cincinnati. Last week, they lost over Arizona State, but ASU is actually ranked this week, and they have an inside or outside chance to get to the Big 12 championship game. But I think Kansas State is just a much bigger mismatch for Cincinnati. That's why I'm going to take them the most confident pick for this week. Number 7, TCU over Arizona. They're a 12-point favorite over the Wildcats. Arizona is not that good of a team. TCU is above average team, not great, but I do think they do enough to win on the road in Arizona. Number 6, Iowa State over Utah. It's only a 7.5-point spread, but I think Iowa State is back on track after losing back-to-back games. They're ranked this week. I think they're 24th and 25th. But I don't think Utah is going to give them too much fret. I think even on the road, I think Iowa State has this one in the bag. Number 5, Baylor over Houston. Another road team that's a favorite in the Big 12. I'm still going to take them. I don't believe in Houston that much to pull this upset. I think the Baylor Bears win this one. Number 4, West Virginia over UCF. I love taking West Virginia. They've been an underdog spread at least half their games. I do believe they're going to beat UCF. It's going to be a close game, but I think they're going to cover and win outright as a home underdog. Number 3, Colorado over Kansas. Kansas, they've pulled the upset 2 weeks in a row. I do not think they do it 3 weeks in a row. Colorado, there's a 2.5-point road favorite. I just can't see Kansas winning that many good games or this many good teams. I think Colorado gets back on track, and they have an outside track to get to the Big 12 championship game. If they win out, they will be in the Big 12 championship game. I don't think Kansas pulls yet another upset. Number 2, BYU over Arizona State. They lost for the first time all year. Did not cover the spread for only the second time this year. And this is going to be an actual crucial game for the Big 12. BYU a 3-point underdog on the road. I do believe they still prevail over the Sun Devils out in Tempe. And my most least confident pick, Texas Tech on the road over Oklahoma State, 3.5 points. Absolute toss-up. I just don't believe in Oklahoma State. I think the Red Raiders get it done in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Moving on to the Big Ten now. There's 8 games again. My most confident pick, yes, Michigan over Northwestern. How bad Michigan has been playing this year, it would be an absolute one of the biggest upsets in the history of Michigan football if Michigan were to lose to Northwestern this weekend. I do not see it happening. They're a 2-possession favorite. At home, senior day, I just can't see them losing to Northwestern. Number 7, Penn State over Minnesota. Minnesota, yes, is a really good, underrated team, but Penn State is just that much better. I don't see Penn State losing. They have an easy track to get to the playoff. To get to 11-1, they'll be at least a top 7 seed and probably get a home playoff game in the CFP playoffs. This is going to be no match for Minnesota. I think Penn State wins. Number 6, Michigan State over Purdue. They're a 13.5-point favorite. Purdue is the worst team in the Big Ten. Michigan State, just an underachieving team. They're still good. I just don't see them losing to the Boilermakers. Number 5, one of the biggest games of the Big Ten calendar. Ohio State hosting Indiana. They're a 13-point favorite. I think that this game is going to open a lot of people's eyes to how good Indiana actually is. But at the same time, I do not see them in any way, any shape or form, beating Ohio State. I think the Buckeyes get it done and win by at least 10 points in this matchup. Number 4, USC over UCLA. Big rivals a week before rivalry week. I think USC prevails over UCLA. Not much else to say. Number 3, Iowa over Maryland. 6.5-point favorite on the road. I don't believe in Maryland that much. Iowa's not that good of a team, but Iowa, I just feel like, is just better than Maryland. I think they're going to get it done. I don't think they cover. I think it'll be within 3 points, but I think Iowa wins in the end. Number 2, Illinois over Rutgers. This game is basically a pick'em. They're only a 1-point favorite. I think Illinois is going to beat Rutgers. I don't know what else to say. They have a good defense. Struggling offense. Rutgers is just struggling a little more. Actually, bowl eligible, but I think the Illini are just going to be too much for the Scarlet Knights. And finally, my least confident pick: Nebraska over Wisconsin, 2.5 points at home. If they win this game, they will be bowl eligible for the first time since 2016, since Trump last was the president-elect the first time. I think Nebraska gets it done over Wisconsin, and I think they finally get back to bowl eligibility, and that role cements himself as the coach going forward. Moving on to the ACC now. Miami over Wake Forest is my most confident pick, 24.5 points. Miami's definitely going to bounce back. They're playing one of the worst, if not the worst team in the ACC. They might even cover the 24.5 points. Number 7, SMU over Virginia. SMU is ranked 13th in the latest CFP. I think they're going to get done easily over UVA. Even I think they're a home team, but I just don't see them not covering this game and not winning. I think the SMU is going to have an easy task against Virginia. Number 6, Georgia Tech over NC State. Georgia Tech upset Miami last week. I don't think this is a no-brainer. I think they're going to beat NC State, who's been very underachieving this year. Number 5, Syracuse over UConn. UConn is a good team. Syracuse, I think, is a little bit better. They're average still, but I think they're just that much better than UConn. They're 10.5 points. I think the Cuse are going to win. Number 4, Cal over Stanford. I really have no analysis on this. The only thing I'm going off is basically the spread. They're 2-touchdown favorite at home. That enough for me is to just say there's no way Stanford's winning this game. Number 3, VT over Duke. 3-point road favorite against Duke. I think VT is just, they're playing really good ball. I think they lost to Syracuse, so this is a bad loss. But I think Virginia Tech is one of the more underappreciated teams in the country. I think they get it done on the road. Second least confident pick, Louisville over Pittsburgh. Pitt had that very close heartbreaking loss to Clemson last week. I think Louisville is going to bounce back again. I think they're going to cover this 8-point spread. I think Pittsburgh has been one of the biggest pretender teams in recent memory. They started 7-0 and they lost 3 straight. I think Louisville gets back on track and moves to 7-3 in the season. Number 1, Boston College over UNC. They're a 3-point underdog at home. I still think they pull the upset, be over UNC, and get back to bowl eligibility for the first time in a few years. Finally, the SEC. There's 9 games in this one. I think Georgia is obviously going to beat UMass. This is not even a question. Not going to go over this. Tennessee is going to beat UTEP. Yeah, no duh. Number 7, Arkansas is going to beat Louisiana Tech. Again, these 3 are just no-brainers. It's just, the spread basically. And, that's what happened. These 3 are definitely going to win the game. Number 6, Texas over Kentucky. 3-touchdown favorite. I think Kentucky being at 4-6. Texas, they're not going to lose this the week before Texas A&M. I don't think they look ahead, especially when they're at home. I think they're going to get it done easily. Number 5, Bama or Oklahoma. 2-touchdown favorite on the road. I would not be surprised if this game's within 7 points, but I think there's no way Alabama loses this game. They're going to get it done. Number 4, Ole Miss over Florida. Florida has played spoiler to some teams this year while actually getting blown out by other teams. I don't think they play spoiler this week. I think Ole Miss is going to be a good team. They're going to watch out for this. They knew what happened last week to LSU. I think they're going to cover the 10 points against the Gators. Number 3, Missouri over Mississippi State. This game is actually really close, especially in the spread. Missouri going on the road to Mississippi State, the worst team in the SEC. I would not be shocked if Mississippi State covered this spread. I just don't see Missouri losing to such a bad team. Number 2, A&M over Auburn. This one was basically a toss-up because Auburn has been a close favorite or a close underdog in a lot of their games. They just have not covered the spread at all. I think A&M gets it done. They're going to cover the 2.5 points and move to 9-2, heading to that crucial game against Texas in the final week of the season. Finally, my least confident pick of the week, LSU or Vandy. I mean, anything can happen with LSU the last 2 weeks. They got blown up at Alabama 2 weeks ago, and then they just absolutely just shit the bed in the second half against Florida last week. Vanderbilt's been playing spoiler to a lot of teams. I don't think they get it done against LSU. I think LSU wins this game. I think Vandy covers, but in the end, LSU will win the game.